breaking news. Senior US officials warn that tensions with Venezuela have reached the most dangerous point yet after a new radar incident on the Caribbean coast. It is 5:11 a.m., and the deck of the carrier USS George Washington is shaking as an F-18E Super Hornet, call sign Striker 2-1, rolls into position. Steam covers the dark flight deck. The crew moves fast. The jet's engines roar like they are pushing the night away. Out at sea, all screens show the same threat: a Venezuelan 96L6E radar tied to an S-300 system near Punto Fijo. For days, that radar has been locking onto US aircraft flying in international airspace. It is a clear warning move, and everyone on the carrier knows it. Instead of slowing down, the radar pushed harder. It held a tight lock on a US patrol jet just hours earlier. In military terms, that is the same as pointing a loaded weapon at a pilot. No one mistakes it as an accident. It is deliberate. Tonight, Striker 2-1 is ordered to end the threat before Venezuela makes a move that crosses a line no one can walk back from. This is not a drill. This is a live mission. The radar crew on the coast has no idea what is coming toward them through the dark sky. If you want to follow this showdown moment by moment, hit subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. To understand why this mission matters, you have to see the sky the way the Navy sees it. The radar Venezuela is running near Punto Fijo is not a simple search tool. It is the main eye of a powerful air defense system built to watch everything moving over the Western Caribbean. From its position on the peninsula, it can scan far out over the ocean and track big aircraft long before they come close to land. For the US, that stretch of air is busy every day. P-8 patrol planes search for submarines there. Fighters run quick response missions. Tankers refuel jets returning from long flights. All of it happens outside Venezuela's borders. In airspace, everyone has the right to use. But when a foreign radar starts locking onto your planes, it changes the picture completely. 3 days before this mission, that same radar locked tight onto a P-8 flying far offshore. Inside the cockpit, warning lights and tones jumped to life. The radar pattern was the same one pilots are trained to expect right before a missile shot. No weapon was launched, but the message was loud: "We see you, and we can target you." For the Venezuelan crew, it may have felt like a bold move, a way to show strength during rising tension. For the carrier strike group, it was a serious red line. If they ignore a lock now, what stops the other side from going one step further next time? That is why this radar matters. It does not just watch the sky. It shapes how both sides act. If it stays up, it can guide missiles toward any jet that gets too close. If it goes down, Venezuela loses a major piece of its defense network, and the US gains room to operate safely. There is also the human side. Pilots who fly near that coast have to trust that their warning systems will give them seconds to survive if someone fires. Radar crews on the ground believe they are defending their country from foreign pressure. Both sides feel the weight. Both sides know one mistake can turn a tense stare down into a real fight. That is why this mission is more than a single strike. It is a signal about control, limits, and who decides what happens next over the Caribbean. The moment Striker 2-1 clears the carrier deck, the mission shifts from planning to reality. Mitchell climbs through the dark sky toward her quiet path along the Venezuelan coast. Everything looks calm, but she knows the radar on the peninsula is already sweeping for her. The warning comes fast. A slow tone fills her headset as a symbol appears on her screen. The jet system identifies it as the Venezuelan 96L6 radar, the same one that locked onto the US P-8 earlier. At first, it is a normal sweep. Then, the tone sharpens. Her system switches from search to track. The radar is now locked on her jet. Mitchell keeps her flight smooth. Any sudden move could reveal her plan. She checks fuel, altitude, and selects the first AGM-88E. The display shifts to harm mode, and the missile instantly detects the radar shining at her. In the bunker below, the Venezuelan crew sees the F-18's altitude and heading. It is still in international airspace, but something feels wrong: the time, the angle, the direct path. Their commander steps closer and orders the radar to increase power. Mitchell hears the change instantly. The tone becomes stronger, steady, and unbroken. This is no longer a casual lock. It is a warning. The E-2 Hawkeye confirms it with a short call. Striker 2-1, emitter tracking firm. She angles a few degrees toward the coast, lining up the attack without making it obvious. The radar stays locked, and she radios. Approaching commit point. Request status on rules of engagement. There is a pause, brief but heavy. Someone is confirming airspace, politics, and the final call. Mitchell holds her path. The radar holds its grip. In the Venezuelan bunker, the commander reacts to her slight turn. He recognizes the pattern. He orders non-essential crew to the underground shelter. The room empties fast. Only a small team stays with the screens. Then the call comes. Striker 2-1, weapons free on designated radar. Mitchell answers calmly. Copy. The first move is over. The real strike begins next. Mitchell pushes the throttles forward, and Striker 2-1 surges ahead, cutting through the dark sky as she angles toward the radar site. She is still far outside Venezuelan airspace, but every mile raises the stakes. The warning tone in her headset stays steady. The radar is locked on her and not backing off. Inside the Venezuelan bunker, operators watch the jet's movement with rising tension. What looked like a simple patrol now shows purpose. Speed increasing, heading tightening, altitude steady. The projection line points straight at them. The commander orders the radar to stay online. Turning it off now leaves them blind. Mitchell checks her harm page. The seeker bar is strong, giving her missile clean data with every second she closes in. She adjusts altitude slightly to prepare for launch. The early morning light begins to show on the horizon, giving the cockpit a faint glow. The Hawkeye calls in. Striker 2-1, emitter strong, no change. That means the radar crew is pushing full power, making themselves an ideal target. Mitchell keeps calm, adjusting her heading a few degrees to line up the attack without losing stability. In the bunker, pressure builds. Another update appears. The F-18 is still closing, still pointed directly at them. The commander recognizes the pattern from countless drills. He considers shutting the radar down, but that would remove their only way to track the threat. He decides to keep it active despite the risk. Mitchell reaches her commit point. She pushes the throttles again, and the jet responds with a sharp, steady pull. The warning tone in her headset becomes nearly solid. She radios, approaching launch window. The Hawkeye replies, Striker 2-1, confirm weapons free. Mitchell answers simply, weapons free. In the bunker, the commander reacts fast. Full alert, keep tracking. Operators brace at their consoles, others move toward the shelter entrance. The bunker goes quiet except for the radar's steady pulse. Mitchell aligns for the final run. The coastline ahead glows with early light. She can almost picture the radar truck below, still blasting full power into the sky. Both sides know the moment is about to break. The radar stays locked. The jet holds its line. The strike is seconds away. The twist begins long before Mitchell reaches the coastline. About 90 minutes earlier, the Venezuelan radar crew started what they believed was a simple training drill. The plan was routine. Keep the radar running at full power, track simulated targets, test reactions, and log performance. It was supposed to be harmless, nothing more than a late-night readiness check. But that drill created the exact opening Mitchell needed. Instead of using short, controlled bursts like normal, the radar stayed on continuously. It pushed out a clean, steady signal, exactly the type a HARM missile can lock onto with incredible accuracy. Without realizing it, the crew had turned their own radar into the easiest target in the entire network. As Mitchell gets closer, she sees the effect instantly. Her warning receiver shows a solid, unbroken lock. The HARM display updates perfect coordinates every second. The missile barely has to work to understand where it needs to go. Inside the bunker, the atmosphere feels confident. The crew thinks they are proving they can handle pressure. They believe a strong, steady signal shows discipline. They even keep extra operators on the consoles to support the drill, unaware they are making the signal even more predictable. One operator finally speaks up, noticing how unusually clean the radar picture looks. "It's too steady," he says quietly. The commander dismisses it. Their focus is on the approaching jet, not on what their own equipment might be giving away. Mitchell doesn't know about the drill, but she can see its result as clearly as if someone told her. "Signal steady," she murmurs, almost surprised. For a harm missile, this is a perfect setup. Both sides feel the tension rising, yet neither understands the real twist. The radar crew, trying to train, has already decided the outcome. Their drill has made their radar impossible to hide, and Mitchell is only seconds from firing. Mitchell reaches the launch line just as the first light spreads across the sea. The warning tone in her headset is now a solid hum. The Venezuelan radar is pouring out maximum power, making itself impossible to hide. She adjusts her heading, checks the harm page one last time, and arms the missile. Everything is green. Inside the bunker, tension spikes. The radar team watches the F-18 closing fast. The commander sends non-essential crew toward the shelter, but the operators stay at their consoles, hoping for a last-second turn. It doesn't come. The jet keeps its attack line. Mitchell presses the launch button. The AGM-88E drops cleanly, ignites, and streaks upward into the early morning sky. She immediately banks left into a sharp escape turn, her anti-G suit tightening as the force pushes her deep into the seat. She doesn't look back. She knows what the missile will do. Below, alarms explode across the bunker. A new symbol appears on the radar for a moment, fast, steep, unmistakably a missile. "Missile launch," an operator shouts. The commander orders the radar offline, but it's too late. The radar goes dark, but the harm already has its coordinates. It dives from its climb, correcting its path several times each second as it homes in on the radar truck. Seconds later, the missile reaches its programmed height and detonates. Tungsten fragments tear through the antenna, processors, cables, and support frame. The radar collapses into burning debris. Smoke and dust blast across the concrete pad as the shockwave hits the bunker entrance. Inside, the commander feels the ground jolt. The lights flicker. Everyone knows the truth. Without checking a screen, their radar has been wiped out in a single strike. Far offshore, Mitchell levels out. Her display shows target destroyed. She exhales slowly. The mission is clean, and the threat is gone. Moments like this decide who owns the sky. If you think Venezuela pushed too far, or that the US response was the right call, press 1 or 9 inches the comments, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. The radar site is still smoking when the first Venezuelan teams arrive. The antenna lies twisted on the ground, the control truck torn open, burned cables scattered across the concrete. No tests are needed to confirm it, the system is gone. A radar that guarded a huge stretch of coastline has been erased in less than a minute. By sunrise, emergency calls begin in Caracas. The loss creates a major gap along the western coast. To cover it, commanders shift mobile radars from other regions, but doing so weakens other parts of their air defense network. US patrol aircraft and satellites notice the changes almost immediately. Offshore, analysts follow every move. They see delays, mixed orders, and sudden radio silence inside the Venezuelan command structure. Despite loud public statements, Venezuela sends no jets and fires no missiles. Leaders know a direct retaliation could bring another strike, one they might not be able to stop. For the carrier group, the message is clear. Mitchell didn't just destroy a radar, she changed the entire operating picture. With that system gone, future patrols and reconnaissance flights face far less risk. The strike also shows regional partners that the US can neutralize high-value threats quickly and with precision. The impact spreads beyond Venezuela. Other countries using similar radar systems quietly begin reassessing their defenses. They watched a single aircraft, guided by solid intelligence, remove a multi-million-dollar asset in seconds. Planners across the region realize their own systems might not survive a similar strike. Inside the Pentagon, the mission becomes a lesson in coordination. When intel, command decisions, and pilot skill align, threats can disappear almost instantly. For Mitchell, it's another clean mission, but she knows it doesn't end the tension. Removing one radar solves a problem and creates new pressure. Signs of the next phase appear within hours. Mobile radars reposition. Patrol planes spot unusual activity near coastal bases. Communications spike across western Venezuela. Something is shifting, but no one knows whether it's preparation, fear, or both. One thing is certain: the strike didn't end the confrontation. It reset it.